Hello, everybody. It's Bill's that college football guy here with another preview prediction video. Yeah, just finished doing one, now doing another. Oh my! Someone. I'm looking at my notes here. I gotta find out who it was who's put this down, so I know who. Zomlin 44. Knowing I'm a Tennessee fan, picks the UCLA Bruins, and now I got to say how Nico's season is going to go this year. I like it. All right. So, preview and prediction video time here. We're talking the UCLA Bruins of the Big Ten. Still weird as hell saying that. Shall we get into this? All right. 5-7 in 2024. I'm sure not DeShaun Foster, the head coach, wanted this to be his first season. But it's the way it goes. We'll see how his second season is going to be improvement. The offensive coordinator this year will be Tino Sunseri. He was as the OC and quarterback coach. He was previously the co-offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach at Indiana. He didn't. Hold on, I'll get into about Tino here. The previous offensive coordinator was former NFL offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, who is now the running backs coach for the Chicago Bears back in the NFL. Getting into Tino, co-offensive coordinator for Indiana. Well, Indiana did well last year. He didn't call the plays. He wasn't the guy who called the plays. That was Mike Shanahan. No, not the Mike Shanahan or related to Kyle Shanahan. Different Shanahan. They're not related. But the problem was Eric's offense last year was not that good. UCLA ranked 118th in total offense last year. Now, I'm hoping I'm saying his name right. Akeka Malo. I'm hoping I'm saying his name right. Being his second season as defensive coordinator and inside linebackers coach. UCLA finished 39th in total defense last year, so that's actually quite an improvement. We'll see how this goes. Oh, boy. All right. The Nico era at UCLA begins. The redshirt sophomore transfer from Tennessee. His stats at Tennessee, 213 for 334, 2,616 yards, 19 touchdowns, 5 INTs. He also had on the ground 109 yards for 190 carries for 357 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he's definitely a quarterback. He's the starter. Those are going to be Really? He's the starter at UCLA. The question for backup, 3 players, none of whom have at least 10 passes thrown at the FBS level. None of them. We're talking about Luke Duncan, the redshirt sophomore, Pierce Clarkson, the redshirt sophomore transfer from Louisville, and of course, Nico Iamaleava. Even though he's transferred around, he's a true freshman. He's a freshman. So we're going to see what he does. So Nico's the starter. Who's going to be the backup? Do we know? Do we know who's going to be the backup? All right, now let's get to the next one. Running back. I look at this and it's a 2-man battle. So there's realistically 4 who could be in the job. Be up for the starting job. Anthony Frias II, a redshirt senior, and Anthony Woods, the redshirt junior. Neither one of them had at least 100 yards rushing at the FBS level, but 2 did. 1 holdover, 1 a transfer. Jalen Berger, the redshirt senior holdover from last year's squad, 48 carries, 178 yards, but he did not have a touchdown. He can be in the battle, but I think the odds-on favorite is Javian Thomas, the junior transfer from Cal. 100 carries, 626 yards, and 7 touchdowns. 6 yards a carry. That'll get it done. So I think he's in the driver's seat, but I'm not going to swear to it. Wide receiver room. You all know me, if you watch these prediction videos, I need at least 10 catches at the FBS level in the season. I'm not asking for 50, I'm asking for 10 to get considered. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 guys who are legitimately got a shot to be a starting wide receiver. Xavier Staples, the redshirt senior, Carter Shaw, the redshirt sophomore, and Jaden Marshall, the redshirt junior, who was a wide receiver, got converted to defensive back, and now he's back at wide receiver. None of them had at least 10 catches at the FBS level last year, but we have 5 guys who did, including 2 transfers. So we're going to go this from lowest receptions to highest, but you tell me who you think is going to be under the top 3. But we're talking Rico Flores Jr., the junior from last year's team on UCLA, 12 receptions, 187 yards, and a touchdown. Next we have Jaden Wilson, the redshirt senior transfer from Arkansas, 15 receptions, 199 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Next we have Titus Mokiayo. Oh, Jesus. Titus Mokiayo Atimalala. My pause. Atimalala. I'm doing that bad. Redshirt senior. Holdover from last year's squad. 28 receptions, 294 yards, and a touchdown. Odds are the top 2 receivers. Quasi Gilmer. Yes, Quasi Gilmer. Love the name. Sophomore, 31 receptions, 345 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Mikey Matthews, the junior transfer from Cal. No, Tennessee fans, Mike Matthews didn't leave Tennessee to go to UCLA with Nico. Mikey Matthews, the Cal transfer, 32 receptions, 272 yards, and a touchdown. So nobody really blows you away, but he can spot. We'll see how this works. So wide receiver room is going to be interesting who ends up being the starter. I think there's a lot of guys who are going to get in the rotation who can get looks. Tight end room. We got one. There's realistically 3 guys who are battling for the starting tight end job. Jake Rendo, the redshirt senior transfer from Pitt. Hudson Habermel, the redshirt senior from UCLA, had some good stats in 2023 when he was playing. He had his injury. He was out all last year. He'd be coming back. And the only one who recorded stats, Jack Peterson, the redshirt junior, 12 receptions, 126 yards and a touchdown. So we'll see how that goes here. So could be some depth issues with the tight ends. Offensive line looks solid. Transfers in, but it's very senior heavy, so there should be some experience there. One guy I've paid attention to in the past, I'm shouting him out, brain mouth working the same frequency. Julian Armella, the redshirt junior transfer from Florida State. He was a spot starter, but I liked the way he played. He was just one of the ones you always make notes on the season. Like, I like what he does in special teams. He stood out in my mind. So, I think he can become something on there. But the offensive line, senior heavy with transfers, they should be a pretty damn solid unit. Defense. Who's going to step up? This is another situation here where we have a lot of players. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 who legitimately have a spot to be in the defensive rotation. You know, I count defensive lineman, defensive tackle, nose tackle, edge rusher as part of the defensive line. We have a lot of guys who did not record. Again, 10 defense, 10 tackles is what gets you noticed. We got Ashton Sanders, the redshirt sophomore transfer from Oklahoma. Kachon Bennett, the redshirt senior transfer from Michigan. We got Grant Bucky, the redshirt sophomore. AJ Fuimiano. Hope I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm not. The redshirt sophomore. And also interesting, we have Keanu Williams, the redshirt senior, and Gary Smith, the second, a redshirt senior. I believe both are. Both missed all of last season with an injury. So how are they going to function? None of these had at least 10 tackles at the FBS level. So if you actually have 10 athletes with 10 tackles, you only have 4. And nobody was really a big standout. What I mean, ranking them from lowest to worst here, Devin Apiu, A-U-P-I-U, Apiu, redshirt senior, 15 tackles, 1.5 sacks, and a pass deflection. We have Siale Tapaki, redshirt senior, 23 tackles and a sack. And then we have 2 guys who are tied with 25 tackles apiece. Nico Iamaleava, I'm saying his name right, the senior transfer from Arkansas, 25 tackles, 1 sack. And Anthony Jones, the redshirt junior transfer from Michigan State, 25 tackles and 2 sacks. Nobody who really stands out in the defensive line. You got a lot of guys who are plug and play. Now they get a chance to start. How's that going to go this season? Linebacker room has concern for me. Because realistically, of the 5 guys who've got the shots to be in the linebacker room rotation, only 2 have FBS experience in my eyes. John Vaughn's the redshirt senior, Ty Lee, the redshirt sophomore, and Donovan Pellet, not sure, redshirt sophomore. All three of them holdovers from UCLA's last team. None of them had at least 10 tackles at FBS last season. Now, the two holdovers, we got one guy, Jalen Woods, redshirt junior, 22 tackles, 1 sack, and a pass deflection. And then one beast. If you watched Oregon State, you know this man's name. Isaiah Chisholm, the redshirt sophomore, transferred from Oregon State. At Oregon State, as a redshirt freshman for Oregon State, okay? Redshirt freshman, 75 tackles and a forced fumble. I'm not kidding. He keeps playing like that. He'd be playing on Sundays. That's just monster numbers. So Oregon State gave UCLA their best linebacker because their own not as much. So we'll see how that's going to work. Secondary, a boatload of transfers with some game experience, but I'm a little bit nervous about it because realistically, if you're talking about the rotation, we're talking 3, 6, 8, 9, 10, 13 guys who legitimately could have a shot at the secondary. There's not really anybody who's big here. Players who, like, you're talking about the 10 tackle bit here, like there's some game experience, but the problem is it's not enough for my standards. Because you were talking the 10 tackle limit that I like to do, there's only 4 on the entire roster. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're talking 13 guys and only 4 of them have at least 10 tackles. That's a little concerning for UCLA's secondary. Now, the ones who don't have at least 10 tackles, we're talking about Key Lawrence, the redshirt senior transfer from Ole Miss. Let me get this back over here. We have Scooter Jackson, the junior transfer from Utah Tech. Zeke Thomas, the redshirt senior. He's a holdover, along with Kanye Clark, who's a redshirt sophomore, also a holdover. We got Cole Martin, the redshirt sophomore transfer from Arizona State. We got Aaron Williams, the redshirt sophomore transfer from Louisville. We got Robert Stafford, the redshirt transfer from Miami. And we have Roderick Pleasant, the junior transfer from Oregon. We also have Brian Threats. Yes, Threats. I love the name. The transfer from UCF. He redshirted last year because he saw the UCF roster, didn't like what it was going to be, so he redshirted. The previous season, 57 tackles, 2 picks, 6 pass deflections. He can do some stuff. But he took last year off and redshirted rather because he didn't want to be at UCF and decided to leave. They hit the portal. So of the 4 who actually have 10 tackles this past season, we have Craw Stewart, Croix, Craw Stewart, the redshirt senior, 11 tackles. You have Andre Jordan Jr., the junior transfer from Oregon State, 27 tackles and 4 pass deflections. Oregon State's helping him out a lot, isn't it? We have Ben Perry, the redshirt senior transfer from Louisville. 29 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and 1 pass deflection. And we have Janier Johnson, the redshirt senior transfer from Indiana. 35 tackles and 1 pick. So again, nobody who's super outstanding, but guys who can make some plays, but nobody's had the real things here except for in the linebacker room. So offensively, which am I more confident with? I'm confident about the offensive line. I'm confident about that. The wide receiver room has some depth there. I'm confident. I think they'll get somebody good there. I'm just confident with Nico. Everybody else is how good are you? Can you develop? Is this going to be, do we have any beasts that are not named yet? That are just lurking, waiting to be unleashed? We don't know. So, it's time to get into the prediction video part of this. The UCLA schedule. They start off the season at home against Utah. Season opener for both schools. Last meeting was in 2023. Utah won 14-7 in Salt Lake City. Like I said, I'm more confident with the offense than I am the defense. And for that reason, even though you're at home in the Rose Bowl, I'm giving the win to Utah. You're losing at home week 1. Next following week is at UNLV. I covered this in the UNLV preview and prediction video. You're going to go on the road to UNLV after the sour taste in your mouth with Utah, and you're going to go beat them. You're going to beat UNLV. Come back home against New Mexico. New Mexico plays Idaho State at home the week before. Now they got a go and travel to the Rose Bowl. Only meeting between these two schools happened in 2002. UCLA won 27-13 in Vegas in the Las Vegas Bowl. I think that was probably in Sam Boyd Silver Bowl. Then this is the first ever regular season meeting between the two schools. UCLA is looking to go 2-0 all time versus New Mexico, and yeah, they're going to get it. So they're going to get the win there. They're going to be 2-1. Then they get their first bye to start conference play on the road at Northwestern. And ironically, though, Northwestern also has a bye. So both schools have a bye going into this game. So neither one is really going to have the advantage. Last meeting of these two was in 2005. It was also in the postseason. UCLA won 50-38 in El Paso in the Sun Bowl. I don't remember watching that game. That'd be an interesting one. It's tied 3-3 all time. UCLA has won. Northwestern won 3 straight, and now UCLA's won 3 straight. So it's the first regular season meeting since 1970. Or is that 1990? Either way, it's been a long damn time. UCLA looking to win their 4th straight game against Northwestern. It's going to be a bit tough because Northwestern's going to be home. But I'm going to give you the edge. I'm more confident in UCLA than I am Northwestern. I'm going to give UCLA the win on the road at Northwestern. Then you get to come back home and play Penn State. Penn State. Now, you played Northwestern on the road. Penn State was at home. The whiteout against Oregon. That's going to be a hell of an emotional game, and it's actually going to be an incredible game to watch. So Penn State may be a little bit spent, and they got to travel from University Park all the way to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena to play. Last meeting was in 2004. Penn State won 27-11 in University Park, at Penn State, Happy Valley. Penn State has won 2 straight against UCLA, looking to win 3 in a row. They have the tougher game. They have to travel across country. This is going to be a lot closer than some people think. But Penn State's still going to win this game, so I have you losing to Penn State. Then you go on the road at Michigan State. Michigan State, this is actually going to be Michigan State's homecoming game. Michigan State plays at Nebraska the week before, so they get to come back home. Last meeting between these two schools, UCLA and Michigan State, was 1974. UCLA won 56-14 in the Rose Bowl. 51 years ago. 51 years ago. Since you last played. UCLA was good then. Michigan State, they've had their ups, they've had their downs. You just played Penn State. And now you got to go on the road to play Michigan State. And you're losing on the road at Michigan State. But then you come back home to face the Terrapins, to face Maryland. Maryland plays Nebraska at home the week before. Last meeting between these schools. You want to talk about a long time ago? How about 70 years? 1955. Maryland won. Jesus. I had to look this up 3 times. One, the fact was 1955. And second off, Maryland won at home in College Park 7-0. What the hell? Maryland's going to be a down team. UCLA's having a down year, but Maryland down year traveling from College Park to LA. Yeah, you're beating Maryland at home. Then on the road the following week at the surprise of the Big Ten, perhaps a surprise of college football last year, Indiana. Indiana plays a tough game at home against Michigan State the week before. This is the Michigan State game was their homecoming game, so they're having the emotional high after that coming back home. The only meeting that ever happened between these two schools was actually last year. Indiana won 42-13 in the Rose Bowl. Indiana's looking to go 2-0 all time versus UCLA. They beat you up in your building. You got Nico, but you got to go on the road. You're losing at Indiana. That's a loss. So you get another bye week. You're second after playing 5 straight. And you get a bye week and come out of the bye week at home against Nebraska. Nebraska plays USC at home the week before. USC, Nebraska. That's actually going to be a pretty damn good game. It could be very competitive. So Nebraska plays the week before. SC at home. You're at home waiting on Nebraska. They got to come, not quite cross country, but come ways to see you. And last meeting was last year. UCLA won 27-20 in Lincoln. Now they're going to come on you. You're trying to win your second straight in a row. And guess what, UCLA? You do win your second straight in a row. You beat Nebraska. But you get that high, you beat Nebraska, you're feeling great, and then where you get to go, you're going to Columbus to play Ohio State on the road. Yeah, the schedule makers didn't do you any favors. And Ohio State had a tune-up game. They play on the road at Purdue the week before. So last meeting on that was 2001, 24 years ago. In a regular season matchup, UCLA won 13-6 in the Rose Bowl. UCLA won. I looked at it like, wait, what? They beat Ohio State at home in the 2000s? But now you got to travel cross country from Pasadena to Columbus, and they are not going to be happy to see you. And you know what? Sorry, UCLA, they're going to beat you. Then you come back at home, your final home game of the year against Washington. Washington plays on the road and gets a tune-up at Purdue. Wow, the week before. They play at Purdue, so they're going to be on the road and then come back home. Come back to, instead of playing at Purdue, now they're going to come play you. Last meeting was last year. Washington won 31-19 in Seattle. This is going to be a tough game. But they just have more talent than you do. I'm sorry, they do. So I'm picking Washington to win this game. And you finish the season on the road at USC. The Battle of LA. USC plays Washington at home, and then they got to go across town. Well, USC didn't play cross town. They went up the coast and played at Oregon the week before. Last meeting was last year. UCLA won 19-13 in the Rose Bowl. Now you're going cross town here. USC's going to be beaten up, and I think they're going to take UCLA lightly. And I'm picking UCLA to beat USC, the final game of the regular season. To finish the season 6-6, a one-game improvement over last year, 4-5 in the Big Ten. So it's an improvement. With Nico, you get to a bowl game. Hey, you got there, but it's just wow. I mean, at Penn State, Penn State travels at home when you're not Michigan State, at Michigan State, at Indiana, at Ohio State. Not doing you any favors. So, but 6-6, you do improve on last season. But I've done enough yapping. Let me know what you think about all of this down in the comments. So thanks everybody for watching the video. If you haven't done it already, do me the favor, please. Smash the like button, hit that thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm so the video be seen by more people. Comment on the video. I'm going to run through the schedule again one more time without all the extras. You tell me who you think is going to win. Say that in the comments, okay? All right, here we go. Start to the home against Utah, at UNLV, home against New Mexico, then they get their first bye, at Northwestern, home against Penn State, at Michigan State, home against Maryland, at Indiana. Then they get their second bye. Home against Nebraska, at Ohio State, home against Washington, at USC. If you look at the schedule, you know one simple thing. They were never 2 at home or 2 away any consecutive weeks. Everything was home, away, home, away, home, away. Alternated the entire schedule, which is going to be a little bit maddening for them. But let me know what you think about all the schedule down in the comments. Share the video if you want to, and if you like the video, check out some other videos I've done. And if you like it, hey, subscribe to the channel. You know, trying to reach 1K, trying to make some magic happen here. If you want to follow me on the craziest that is X, the link is in the description. I promise I'll get more on it, but some days when you're out in the middle of nowhere driving, it's hard to get stuff going, and the honey-do list gets busy. I'm trying to squeeze these 2 videos in before I got to go do another project here. So thanks, everybody, for watching. Hope everybody's having a great day. Be safe out there, and please be good to each other.